So we have gone through and learned all about different 2D shapes. Okay, so remember those are the ones that are flat. And then now we're starting to learn about our 3D shapes, and those are the ones that are 3D, and you can stack them on top of each other. They are not flat like the other 2D shapes. But when we go to describe our 3D shapes, it's important that we actually know those 2D shapes to name them. So on your sheet right here, you have a bunch of pyramids and then you have a bunch of prisms. And I would like to tell you what the difference is between them. So think about that just for a second. What is one common thing among the pyramids that is different than the prisms? That's right. The pyramids all come to a point. So I'm going to show you this right now. Okay, so we have our pyramid right here. I know, looking at the bottom, that shape is a square. So it's actually going to be called a square-based pyramid. If it was a square on top, you'd actually end up with a cube. Okay, whereas if I take this one right here, I look at the bottom and I can see that this is a hexagon because I count the sides of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I can tell that that's a hexagon. I also notice that there's a hexagon on the other side. It doesn't come to a point. So because I have the two same shapes on the top and the bottom, I call that a prism. So say the difference with me together. This is a pyramid because it comes to a point. This is a prism because it has the same shape on the top as it does on the bottom. So your job now is to identify all of the different features or attributes of our shapes, of some 3D shapes, and you are going to put them into a little table that I'm going to describe coming up. All right, so for the next few slides, you are actually going to be going through and identifying some different features of 3D shapes. Now, what I'd like you to do is to go around your house and look for these different shapes. As soon as you get to the next slide, it'll tell you what shape you need. And you can go and find different things around your house that are that shape, okay? The other option is that I have put on Google Classroom some things called nets. And nets are things that you can cut out and actually form into these 3D shapes. So just talk to your parents to make sure that those are printed if you can't find these objects around your house, but I know a lot of them you'll be able to find. And if you'd even like to add a picture onto these pages of the objects that you found around your house, please go ahead and do that. Okay, so I'll show you how to do these pages, and then you're going to go off and do them on your own. So this one is just the example, and I'm going to use what we just talked about, that hexagonal prism is what we call it, okay? Because I know that on both sides, the top and the bottom is the same shape. So if I take a look at my slide right here, it says name of object. I'm going to write that down, hexagonal prism. And if you're having a hard time with the spelling, go ahead to this sheet and it'll help you. Hexagonal prism. Okay, so let's go through number of faces. I know that a face is a flat part all around my shape. It's not curved, it must be flat, a flat face. Okay, so let's count them. We have 1, 2, oh, I've got a lot of them around the outside. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I have 8 faces on my hexagonal prism. So I put in my number 8. What about edges? Let's take a look at the edges. I know that the edges are all the way along here. So let's count those. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, and look at how many I have around here. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Flip it over. 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18 edges. Look at how many edges our hexagonal prism has. All right, number of corners. So different than the edges, I'm actually looking for those points. It's where 2 edges come together. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Flip it over. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I know 6 plus 6 is 12. So I have 12 corners on my hexagonal prism. Number of surfaces. I want you to think to yourself right now, what is the difference between a surface and a face? A surface is a curved, flat space. So if I took a look at a cylinder, this would be a surface. This would be a face because it's flat. But the curved surface is what we're talking about when we say the word surface. So that's a really important distinction. Our hexagonal prism does not have any surfaces. It only has faces. So I'm going to put the number 0. Okay, so there you go. That's how you fill out that chart. And if you find a really great object around your house that displays this shape, go ahead and put that into your slideshow. That way your teacher can see it. You can just put it right next to the other picture right here, or even replace that picture. That's okay too. All right, so go ahead, get started, and you're going to fill out the next 4 pages.